am Prasad. Welcome to my channel. Now we discuss about the average speed and average velocity. There are 2 points A and B. So body is moving along this path. Suppose body is moving along this path. The length of this path is called actually distance. Now time is taken to reach the point B is delta t. So the distance is covered in delta t. Let us distance is denoted by the delta s. Delta s. Now delta s cover in time delta t. So in delta t it covers a distance delta s in 1 second. So it covers delta s by delta t. In 1 second it covers a distance delta s by delta t. Bring delta t toward this side, then it become denominator. In 1 second how much distance is covered? That is average speed. So some distances cover in particular time. That distance is covered by a body in 1 second. So that is delta s by delta t. That is said to be average speed. So here delta s by delta t is average speed. Now what is the displacement between A and B? We know that draw a straight line between these 2 points. Draw a straight line between these 2 points. So this is displacement. Though body moves along this path, but displacement of the body is this is. So it covers in time t. Now delta s referred displacement, but now here delta s represent as displacement. So in time t it covers a displacement delta s. So in 1 second it covers a displacement delta s by delta t. See here delta s is displacement. Delta s by delta t, that is average velocity. So this physical quantity is said to be average velocity. See here delta s is, suppose it is a distance, delta s by delta t, that is average speed. Suppose delta s is a displacement, then delta s by delta t is average velocity. Let's go solve some problems related to the average speed and average velocity. Now question, a body moves in a straight line and covers half distance with speed v1 and remaining half distance with speed v2. What is average speed and average velocity? For this question, now draw the diagram related to this data. Body moves in a straight line. Suppose this is a straight line and covers a distance. First half distance cover with speed v1, remaining half distance with speed v2. Suppose total distance is considered as d. So distance between 2 points is d here. So half of the distance, then it becomes d by 2. Remaining half distance is d by 2. So here first half distance it covers with speed v1. Next half distance cover with speed v2. Body moves in a straight line. Now change in direction, that means not return back. In such a case distance become equivalent to displacement. So when distance is equivalent to displacement, average speed is equivalent to the average velocity. So here average speed is equivalent to average velocity. Let's go to calculate the average speed. So what is the average speed formula? Delta S by delta T, that is total distance by total time. So what is the total distance here? That is D. Now total distance is D. So what is the total time? See here, first half distance, that is D by 2, covers with speed V1. Now I want to calculate the time for this situation. See here, we know that formula, distance is equal to speed into time. I want to calculate the time. So time is equal to distance by speed. So what is the distance here? D by 2. So speed is here V1. So speed is in the denominator. So V1 should be taken in the denominator. So that is D by 2 V1. So for half distance, so time is D by 2 V1. So here for half distance, time is, suppose this is the time 1, that is D by 2 V1. So what is the next half distance? See here, next half distance it covers with speed V2. So next half distance it cover speed is V2. Time for second half distance, that is called D by S. So D by speed, distance by speed. So that is equal distance here D by 2 and V1 is 2 V2. So for the next half journey, time is D by 2 V2. Now what is the total time? So this is the time 1, this is the time 2. Now total time. So total time is D by 2 V1 plus D by 2 V2. See here, in this term, D by 2 is common. So I take the D by 2 common. Then we get here 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Next, D by 2. See here, LCM is V1, V2. And so this is V2 into 1, V2 and V1 into 1, that is V2 plus V1. So this is D by 2 V2 plus V1 is nothing but V1 plus V2, that is by V1 V2. So this is the total time. Now what is the average speed? Total distance, that is D by total time. So what is the total time? This is the total time, that is D by 2 V1 plus V2 by V1 V2. Okay, so D in numerator, this D is denominator, so both are cancelled. See here, 2 V1 V2, denominator of denominator, so it become numerator 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So this is average speed. So this is average speed. So what is the average speed here? 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Okay, remember this formula. So what is the formula? Average speed is equal to V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Body is moving in a straight line. First half distance cover with the speed 12 km per hour. Next one 24 km. Next half distance cover with the speed 24 km per hour. Now what is the average speed? So just now we derived average speed for this situation, that is 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2 See here 2, what is v1? 12, what is v2? 24 by 12 plus 24. 12 plus 24, that is 36. So 12 3 is 36, 3 8 is 24, 8 2 is 16. So our speed is 16 km per hour. So this is answer. Next question. Body moves in a straight line and covers first 1/3 distance with speed v1 and second 1/3 distance with speed v2 and remaining distance with speed v3. Now what is our speed? Now total distance is say d. See from data first 1/3 distance, that is say, and next 1/3 distance and remaining distance. So this distance is divided by 3 parts. So first 1/3 distance, that is d by 3, next one is d by 3 and last one is d by 3. So first 1/3 distance covers with speed v1, next covers with the speed v2 and final distance it is covered with the speed v3. So what is the average speed formula? Total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. So what is the total distance? That is d. Now time. Here there are 3 situations. First situation is, so first 1/3 distance cover with the speed v1. So what is the time formula? Distance by speed. So what is the distance here? d by 3. Speed is v1. So first time is 3v1. This is the time 1 for the first situation. So that is d by 3v1. Next, for second situation, similarly time is d by 3v2. For the third situation, it takes a time d by 3v3. So what is the total time here? So total time is t1 plus t2 plus t3. So that is d by 3v1 plus d by 3v2 plus d by 3v3. So what is the LCM here? So observe denominators. First one is 3v1, 3v2, 3v3. So 3 is common. So 3. Remaining terms of denominators are v1, v2, v3. So LCM is v1, v2, v3. So here LCM of 3v1, 3v2, 3v3 is 3v1, v2, v3. So this denominator divided by first one 3v1, 3v1, v2, v3 by 3v1. So we get v2, v3. So this v2, v3 is multiplied with the numerator of this one. So what is the numerator here? D. So D v2, v3. Next, now LCM 3v1, v2, v3 is divided by the denominator of second term, that is 3v2. So 3 v2 v2 cancel, v1 v3. So we get here v1 v3. Now this is multiplied with the numerator of second term, that is d. So we get here d v1 v3. Next, similarly 3v1 v2 v3 is divided by denominator of the third term, that is 3v3. So 3 cancel, v3 cancel, then we get v1 v2. So now v1 v2 is multiplied with this numerator, then we get d v1 v2. So here in all the terms of numerator, see here d is common. So we get D is common. Then V2 V3 plus V1 V3 plus V1 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 V2 by 3 V1 V2 V3. So this is the total time. Now total time is D V2 V3 plus V1 V3 plus V1 V2 by 3 V1 V2 V3. Now what is average speed formula? Average speed is equal to total distance by total time. So what is the total distance? That is D by total time is D V2 V3 plus V1 V3 plus V1 V2 by 3 V1 V2 V3, and 3 V1 V2 V3 is denominator of denominator, it's go to numerator, then we get 3 V1 V2 V3, then we get 3 1 V2 V3 by V1 V2 plus V2 V3 plus V3 V1. So this is average speed for this situation. So what is the average speed formula? 3 V1 V2 V3 by V1 V2 plus V2 V3 plus V3 V1. First 1/3 distance cover with the speed 10 km per hour. Next 1/3 distance cover with the 20 km per hour. Next 1/3 distance cover with the 30 km per hour. Now what is our speed? So what is our speed formula here? That is 3 V1 V2 V3 by V1 V2 plus V2 V3 plus V3 V1. So answer is 3 into V1 is 10, V2 is 20, V3 is 30 by V1 into V2. So that is 10 into 20, 200 plus V2 V3, 20 into 30, 20 into 30 is 600 plus V3 into V1, 30 into 10, 300. Okay. 200 plus 600 plus 300, 800 plus 300, 1100. So total here 1100. So 0 0 0 0 cancel. So 3 10s are 30, 32s are 60, 63s are 180. So answer is 180 by 11 km per hour. Suppose now this distance, this is the distance. First 1/4 cover with the speed V1, next 1/4 covers with the speed V2, next 1/4 cover with the speed V3, last 1/4 cover with the V4. Now what is the average speed? See here, average speed formula total distance by total time. So what is the total distance here? Suppose this is D. Okay, next one, what is the time one? So D by 4 V1, next D by 4 V2, next D by 4 V3, next D by 4 V4. All terms has common D, so D is the common in 4 terms. Then we get 1/4 V1, 1/4 V2, 1/4 V3, 1/4 V4. So DD cancel. Then we get here 1 by. See here 1 by. So what is the LCM here? 4 V1 V2 V3 V4. Okay. So first 4 V1 V2 V3 V4 is divided by 4 V1. Then we get here V2 V3 V4. So this is V2 V3 V4. Next Now it is divided by 4v2. So what are the remaining? v1, v3, v4 plus next 4v3, v1, v2, v4 plus next 4v4, that is v1, v2, v3. So it's go to numerator, then we get answer 4 v1, v2, v3, v4 by, so this is rearrange in easy way, that is 4 v1, v2, v3, v4 by, so first one is, so v1, v2, v3, next v2, v3, v4 plus next v3, v4, v1 plus finally is v4, v2, v1. Body moves in a straight line and covers half distance with speed v1 and half distance of remaining distance with speed v2 and other half of remaining distance with speed v3. What is average speed? Say total distance is d. First half distance means d by 2. Cover with speed v1. Now this is the remaining distance. Half distance of remaining distance. So this is the remaining distance. So in this remaining distance, half distance. So I take another midpoint of remaining distance. Okay. So half of remaining distance. So remaining distance is d by 2. Half mean into. So remaining half of remaining distance mean d by 4. So this is d by 4. It covers speed v2. So remaining half of distance, that means that is also d by 4. Now cover with speed v3. Now what is the average speed? We know average speed formula, total distance by total time. So total distance here d. Now what is the time? So there are 3 situations. So we get the 3 times. So what is the first situation? First half distance, cover with speed v1. So here time 1 is equal to distance by speed. Distance is d by 2, speed is v1. So time 1, that is d by 2 v1. So what is the next situation? Distance is d by 4. Okay. Now cover with speed v2. Now time t2 is d by, distance is d by 4 with speed v2. So what is the third situation? See here, third situation is here d by 4, distance cover with speed v3. Now time 3 is distance by speed. So time t3 is d by 4 v3. So what is the total time? Now total time is d by 2v1 plus d by 4v2 plus d by 4v3. See here, in all the terms d is the common. Then we get here 1 by 2v1. Now d is common. So here we get 4v2. Now d is go away from this term. Then we get 4v3. Okay. See here, what is the LCM of these First we take the number of these three denominators. First one is 2, 4, 4. So LCM of 2, 4, 4 is 4. Next, LCM of V1, V2, V3 is V1 into V2 into V3. So here now denominator is 4 V1, V2, V3. So it is divided by the denominator of first term, that is 2 V1. So V1, V1 cancel, 2, 2 cancel, then we get 2 V2, V3. After division we get 2 V2, V3. So what is the rule? This 2 V2, V3 is multiplied with the numerator of this one. So what is the numerator here? 1. So 1 into 2 V2, V3. Then we get 2 V2, V3. The LCM is 4 V1, V2, V3. Now it is divided by the second term of denominator of second term, that is 4 V2. So V2, V2 cancel, 4, 4 cancel. Then we get here V1, V3. So this V1, V3 is multiplied with 1. Then we get V1, V3 plus. Next, so what is the LCM? 4 V1, V2, V3. Next it is divided by the 4 V3. So 4, 4 cancel, V3, V3 cancel. We get V1, V2. So V1, V2 into numerator of 1, that we get V1, V2. So this is the total time. Now average speed is total distance by total time. What is the total distance here? D by what is the total time? D into 2 V2 V3 plus V1 V3 plus V1 V2 by 4 V1 V2 V3. So DD cancel. So we get here 1. So remove brackets. No use of brackets here. So we get remove. Next, 4 1 V2 V3 is denominator of denominator. So it become numerator. So this is 4 V1 V2 V3. Okay. For this situation, our speed is 4 V1 V2 V3 by V1 V2 plus V1 V3 plus 2 V2 V3. So how do you solve this problem first? Look here, suppose total distance assumption as 1. So half distance, that means 1 by 2. So it covers with the speed V1 from the data. Remaining half of half, that is 1 by 4 with speed V2. So remaining half of V3. Now what is the formula average speed? Total distance. So what is the total distance here? 1 by, see here, time 1, time 2, time 3. So total time is T1 plus T2 plus T3. What is the time 1? That is 1 by 2 V1, 1 by distance by speed. 4, 1 by 4 is a distance. Speed is V2. So 1 by 4 V3. Okay. So 1 by, now what is the LCM of this? 4 V1 V2 V3. So what is the numerator here? That is 2 V2 V3. Next, so we get here V1 V3 plus V1 V2. So this go to numerator. So that is 4 V1 V2 V3. So this is our speed. Okay, just you take only 2 steps. First step, this is one, and this is the second step. Then directly you write this formula. Now the question is, body moves in a straight line and covers first 1/3 distance with speed V1 and remaining distance with speed V2. What is our speed? Suppose total distance is 1. First 1/3 distance. that is 1 by third. Suppose this is 1 by third distance, that means 1 by third it covers with speed v1. So what is the remaining distance? So 1 minus 1 by 3. So total distance is 1. So first one is 1 by third. So remaining mean subtraction. 1 minus 1 by 3. Then we get here 2 by third. So now 2 by third distance covered with speed v2. Okay. So what is our speed? So what is our speed formula? Total distance by total time. So what is the total distance here? 1 by, what is the time? So how many times here? 2 times. T1 plus T2. What is the time 1? So here distance is 1 by third and speed is v1. Now what is the time T2? Distance is 2 by third, speed is v2. Okay, so what is the LCM here? So 3 is a number, so we get here 3 and v1 v2. So v1 v2 is the LCM. So then we get 3 v1 v2 is the LCM. 3 v1 v2 is divided by the first term 3 v1. So 3 v1 cancel, then we get here v2. We get v2. So v2 is multiplied with the numerator, that is 1, v2 into 1, that is v2 plus next 3 v1 v2 is divided by 3 v2. So 3 cancel, v2 v2 cancel, then we get v1 into 2, that is 2 v1. Okay, so 3 v1 v2, then bring into numerator, then we get here 3 v1 v2. So this is the answer, 3 v1 v2 by v2 plus 2 v1.